Hey guys, so I'm just out and about walking around and thought I'd give you another video. And this is a video that my wife's wanted me to do for a while now because it's something that we haven't really seen, or I hadn't heard about this at all until it happened to me in boot camp. I'm not even really sure what to call it. I think it was called the Rite of Passage, but it happened about a week and a half before graduation. And so that night we were tired, as always, and we were woken up at about 4 a.m. by one of our drill sergeants. And this particular drill sergeant had a way of always, how do I put it, she didn't like to waste her words, shall we say. Everything she said had a point to it and was spoken very loudly, and I mean, she's a drill sergeant, so you know how it is. So she walks in about 4 a.m. and for some reason, I think there was a piece of garbage on the floor, but she just started yelling about it. She was like, you know, why is there garbage on the floor? Why is your fan turned on? Why is this? Oh my, I can't believe you guys are this close to graduation and you don't know how to be a soldier. And she just started throwing stuff and making noise. She brought an air horn in and just woke everyone up and said, you want to get downstairs right now. This is unacceptable. You are not ready to graduate. I thought you were in blue phase. I mean, at this point, we're all like waking up and like getting stuff ready to go outside, you know? And so we get down to the drill pad and she starts making us do push-ups because at this point, we're just used to doing push-ups, right? And says, go back upstairs and change into your assault packs. And so we went upstairs and we grabbed our assault packs and we grabbed our flicks and we ran back downstairs with all our stuff on. And at this point, there's like 4 drill sergeants out there. And we're like, okay, this is weird. Why are there 4 drill sergeants out here? Now it's 4:30 a.m. And they start yelling at us, making us do more push-ups, of course. So we do more push-ups. And then we hear the words we just didn't want to hear. One of our drill sergeants walks out and he's like, hey, get back upstairs and go grab fill your assault packs with all of your clothes and bring them back down here. And then we heard something we didn't want to hear. Our drill sergeant said, take our assault packs back upstairs, fill them with all of our gear, and bring them back down. And so we did. We ran back upstairs as fast as we could. We filled our assault packs with all the stuff we had, so it was back up to, was it 40? Well, I think it's probably only 25 pounds in basic, but so we ran back upstairs and filled our assault packs, got them back up to 25 pounds like they're supposed to be, and we ran back downstairs, and by this point, all of our drill sergeants are downstairs, and I didn't really know what was going on. I didn't put it all together. I'm sure some people did, but I was just confused as to why all of our drill sergeants were there at that early hour of the morning. And after all 12 of them had basically taken a turn smoking us each, we saw one of the drill sergeants with his assault pack on, ready to go. And he's like, we are rucking 16 miles. If you guys don't want to be in blue phase, we'll do it all over again, start at the beginning. And he just took off, and we all followed him. Now, when I mean take off, I mean he took off. Like, he was booking it. And I was thinking, there's no way I'm doing 16 kilometers at this pace. Like, there's no way. But we kept going, and we went around the track once, around that mile track. I was like, oh my gosh, we're just gonna do laps all night? You know, some people started falling out. The other drill sergeants were behind us at this point, and so they were pushing us back up towards the front. You know, one clue I should have gotten was the drill sergeants pull all the people out of formation before we marched off who hadn't passed their last PT test. And that should have been a clear red flag to me that something was going on, because normally, yeah, you pull out the profiled guys, but the guys who didn't pass their PT test are the guys not graduating. That seemed weird to me. So yeah, I should have thought that was a clear red flag, but I didn't. Anyway, fast forward, so we'd gone probably 2 kilometers, maybe 2.5 at the most. We hadn't gone very far, and we kind of went over this little hill, and he told us to put our packs down. He just said, okay, drop your packs, bring a canteen, and let's go. And I was like, okay, that's weird. We haven't been 16 kilometers, or even 4 for that matter. So we all went off and around in the woods. I started hearing music. And when you're in basic training, you don't hear music very often. So it was like, what is this? Am I just hallucinating at this point? And as we got closer, I could see tiki torches. And I'm like, okay, this is getting real weird. And I'm pretty slow at 5 a.m. But at this point, even I knew something was going on. Like, it wasn't we were in trouble. Something weird was going on. And as we passed the tiki torches, there was a table with a container of what some of you will know as grog. And so as we walked by, they told us to fill our containers, and so we did. And we filled our containers, and we stood in a formation, and everybody was there. The first sergeant was there. The captain was there. All the drill sergeants were there. And they had one, I think it was the captain, if I remember, or I think it was the first sergeant, was holding a lit tiki torch, and there were like 7 or 8 tiki torches ready to be lit, just kind of sitting there. And our first sergeant stood on this sort of stage, looking out over everybody, and he started giving a speech talking about all the various wars that the United States has fought in. And he called our high PT score winner up to the stage, and he gave him the tiki torch, and he said, as I name these wars, please light a torch. And so he named, the Revolutionary War, and they lit a torch, and he started naming all these wars we'd fought in. And the last torch that was lit was the recent war in Afghanistan. And then there was one torch left over, and so I was thinking, okay, well, we haven't fought any more wars, have we? That's the last one we fought in that I knew of. And he stood there and he looked over at us, and he said, this last torch is lit for you who will fight in our future wars and defend our country in the future. And as our PT winner lit that torch, the drill sergeants all kind of stood up straighter, and our first sergeant began to recite an oath to us. I don't remember what that oath said, I really don't. But I do remember at the end of the oath, he said, you are now soldiers. You are no longer trainees, and we will call you as such. And they came and gave us a pin, and they let us wear our ranks on our uniforms at that point, and we were soldiers. It was also probably the first time I'd seen my drill sergeants clap for us, which was weird. It felt weird, but it also felt really good to finally be called a soldier by our drill sergeants in this sort of ritualistic ceremony we were doing. And then we had to drink the grog, which, I mean, it's a symbol of bravery, but it was nasty. And they can't serve us alcohol because we're still trainees, which is lucky for me because I don't drink alcohol. But it was like Gatorade and a whole bunch of cayenne pepper and who knows what else. It sand. I mean, it tasted nasty, and it hurt my throat. It just burned, and I mean, luckily I was near the end, so there wasn't much left in the big barrel. Or maybe it was worse because all the stuff had drifted to the bottom. I don't know. Everyone was gagging. Drill sergeants were laughing, and we just drank it down slow, as fast as we could. But once that was finished, then they marched us off, and we took turns calling cadences all the way back. And once we got back to the drill pad, we were alone with our senior drill sergeant for the first time in, well, it took about 2 hours. And he sat us down, and he just talked about how proud he was that we'd gotten to this point, and that he was going to call us soldiers from now on, that we had gotten to this point and earned it, and we should never forget this moment, and we should never also fall. We should remain strong and just be men like we were supposed to be. And from that moment on in boot camp, we were soldiers. They called us soldiers. In fact, there was one drill sergeant that kept calling me specialist, which was weird because I was like, I was trainee not 24 hours ago. But it was actually a really cool ceremony, despite the rude awakening and gosh, we probably got smoked for at least 45 minutes, and then did a little 2K ruck. It wasn't that bad, but I mean, it was a rude awakening before this happened, and we passed that last little test too, and it was a really cool experience. It was a good end to boot camp for me. We still had a week after that we spent cleaning and all that good stuff, and I'll talk about that in the blue phase video I do later. But it was just a really cool end to boot camp. It was like, okay, you've arrived, you're now a soldier, and you're now part of this giant team. We accept you as one of us. And so I'm not sure if that happens in every boot camp. I'm going to assume it does, but at least at my boot camp in Fort Sill. That was our rite of passage we had. That was a very strange and very satisfying night. So let me know if your rite of passage was different, or if you're going to boot camp soon. Now you know about it, so if you have any other questions, let me know in the comments below. I just want to film this quick video while I'm out and about today, so sorry about the shaky camera and the iPhone quality, but please subscribe to my channel, and thank you very much for watching. Have a good rest of the day.